You're listening to the Normal Isn't Necessary podcast, brought to you in part by the Gumball Head Sobriety Society and generous listeners just like you. For the latest updates, check out the link in our bio. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 30th December, 2025. I'm recording one podcast right now. Just gonna say this. It's possible that this is the last morning road rant of 2025, just in the case, for some reason, I don't record one tomorrow. I have to work tomorrow, but the weather's turning, and I have not been recording the road rants because of the temperature and the weather and the driving conditions. It's a safety thing. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your host, Gumballhead, with possibly and potentially the last episode of the 2025 season. Thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to be here. We're wrapping up in a marvelous, marvelous year. A beautiful year, a very creative year, a educational year. I mean, there are 10 million words that I could say about this year, and all of them are positive. A few things here and there happen negatively that I wasn't happy with the outcome of, but overall, positive outweighed the negative, and here we are, another episode of the podcast. So the road rants, we wrote chants, mantra. Couple of interesting things have happened this week, and today's only Tuesday, but since Christmas, I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope you all have good plans for the new year. Whether you're sober or not, I hope your plans work out for you. I hope everything that you dreamed of occurs in 2026. We are working hard at making our dreams come true. We don't have dreams, we have reality. I've spent enough time in my life dreaming about things. Now if I want something, I just go and get it. And we're working towards some stuff this year. Hopefully, we can make those things come to fruition, as in a new studio. When I say a new studio, I'm talking about new walls that I can paint and not feel guilty about. A new studio that I don't have to share with a bunch of kids and a wife. One that I can put all my knickknacks and gifts from all of our listeners up in and not feel as if they are, going to occupy somebody else's space. So we are hard charging for that. Nose to the grindstone. Working hard, trying to get all these things to come to light for us. Hoping. We'll see how it goes. I know a lot of people are still out of work, and I know this is kind of an interesting lead into this, but it's weird because when I started looking back at things, it didn't dawn on me until recently that I was out of work, like literally out of like full-time employment for another person for over a year. But in that period of time, I actually did work for myself, and I did a lot of things that just wanted to do, and some of them were out of necessity, and some of them were out of desire. And it was a long time. It was scary, and there were a lot of things that happened during that year and a half that I don't wish on anybody. And I'll be transparent. There were moments where I was struggling with my mental health, so much so that I got angry and I got mad and I got frustrated with the world around me, and there were often times where I placed the blame on people without the intention of placing the blame on people. It was not my intention to, point my finger at people and tell them that they were the cause of my anger. They were the cause of my dissatisfaction. And when I say that, I'm talking about family and friends. I'm talking about my wife and my children. And not last year, but this was 2024. But it was just some things. And I've been reflecting on this stuff a little bit lately, looking back at my parenting track record with my oldest two children and how they, in response to some things, I told my daughter happy birthday. It took a couple of days for her to respond, and I told my oldest son happy birthday, and he enjoyed his entire day with his family, and he finally eventually got the opportunity to say it back to me, which is fine. But it's weird how when you separate yourself from these people or from people in general, how they change. We used to have a really good friend on TikTok that we interacted with on a daily basis. And this person still desires to maintain our friendship, and we do. We maintain the friendship, but we put distance between this person and ourselves. And we did so as a result of, we as a team, we as a group, we as a community, we can only help so much and assist so much to where it becomes a point where we can't do the work for the people. And I bring this up because I'm looking at sober stats and looking at the changes that TikTok is making and social media is making. I doom scroll on TikTok, but I haven't posted a video or visited anybody's page in weeks. I just put a pause on it. Why? Well, primarily because of the fact that social media is still appealing to me, but I don't feel as if I need to be as involved with it as I had been in the past. And my wife is still pushing on the social media platforms because that's where she makes her income. And she's doing a fantastic job. She's posting videos here and there of the podcast and whatnot, but it's been kind of nice taking a break from doing the podcast and doing interviews. My goodness, we decided that we were going to do one interview per week starting at the beginning of the year of 2025. And, some weeks we did 3 or 4. And so we got to put a handful of those interviews into our pockets and, kind of turn things around and interview amazing people. And we're going to do a recap of that interview here. I'm hoping tomorrow or New Year's Day. We're just going to do a recap of 2025, talk about all of the guests that we've had on our podcast, and talk about the progress that we've made as a community, as a program, and just talk about our growth overall. And I think that a lot of people, including myself, would be surprised to see how the statistics add up. Beginning of 2025, for example, February, we were still dabbling around the 300 downloads for the month. And looking back, we're over 12,000 downloads for the year. Some months were bigger than others, and some of the things are just I don't know how to explain it. Flukes, if you will. We had a couple of countries do, heavy downloads some days. We had one country one particular country do 249 downloads in one day. And those spike our stats, which is fantastic. But on the other side, they're not verifiable downloads. I'd rather see 10 to 12 downloads in a day than 100 to 200 downloads in a day, unless it's consistent on those hundreds of downloads per day, or at the very least, double digits. And we're scratching and clawing our way to where we want to be in our podcast, scratching and clawing our way to where we want to go with our podcast. We also know that it takes time, and in order to get the numbers that we desire, we have to put out content that you desire. We need your help in 2026. We need to know who you want us to interview. And we've had some amazing suggestions from our guests, our followers, and our supporters. And we've interviewed quite a few of the people that have been suggested to us. as a result of the recommendations from other people. We want to continue that trend. We want to continue putting out the interest to the people that want to hear it. And we've done it on many platforms because a lot of people were not listening to us as a result of, I don't want to download another app on my phone. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I've already got iTunes. I've already got Amazon. I've already got Spotify. I already listen to iHeartRadio. So we provided the opportunities for people to listen to that. And lately I've been playing a video game on PlayStation called Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is a post-apocalyptic video game that is focused around a nuclear explosion that essentially ended humanity, turned people into mutants, and there were some survivors, but not a lot. You know, it wasn't an entirely populous world, but it's based in Boston and, the East Coast in general. And there's a radio station. There's multiple radio stations on the game, but one of them is called Wasteland Radio. And Wasteland Radio has 12 or 13 songs that play on repeat on the radio station. And the video game is so widely popular that it spawned a television series on Netflix called Fallout. And, offshoots, and the next Fallout that's coming out is supposed to have 600 hours of direct content. And I have probably 400 hours into this game. I beat it on multiple modes and in different outcomes, and the storyline, it's just got a high replay value to it. And you know what's going to happen, and you know the things that you're going to see, and you know the challenges you're going to face. But at the end of the day, you can do things in a different order when you decide to go and do these things, these quests and these missions. And you just kind of figure it out along the way. And every time I play it, I come up with new strategies and new ways to defeat the bosses and different ways of completing the quests, and I get to change it up. It's kind of one of those things where you know where life is going to end up, you know what it's going to be in the end, but you have an opportunity to choose your own adventure. And that has caused me a lot of reflection lately while playing this game. Just choosing the way that the outcome is going to be. I know I'm going to beat the game. I have multiple save opportunities, and I save in certain areas, and some of the missions I know you can't save in the middle of because I tried making that mistake before and ended up not being able to complete the quest as a result of the choices that I made, and I have to go back and redo it all over again. Differentials of that are other games that I play, such as Call of Duty. The Call of Duty endgame, Call of Duty Warzone, mostly, you squad up with 4 people, and you go up against real people in a battle zone scenario, and you fight to be the last team standing. And usually when it comes down to the end, it's either you did a really good job or you did not do a really good job. And it basically boils down to who has the better strategy, the better guns, and the better players on their team. You know what the game is going to start out like. You know what the playing progression is going to be throughout the entire thing. But you don't know what the end is going to result in. Unless you squad up with a really good team and you know for a fact that you're going to win. And sometimes when I log in, I know that I'm going to win multiple times that night because of the people that I'm playing with. I also know that I'm going to need to lean on them in order to make things happen. And reflection on all of this puts into perspective, a high perspective, of the way the world is around us. How much do we rely on other people for our own success? How much do we rely on the people that surround us with love and understanding and care and individualized success in order to make ourselves successful? Kind of an opportunity to sit back and look at things and understand the way that things unfold as we progress through this mission of life, as we see how things grow and curate into the ultimate end goal of what we want, what we choose. The people that we involve in our lives, we want to be successful, and those that want to be successful surround themselves with successful people. Those that just don't care or are unaware or have struggled with success in their lives don't necessarily surround themselves with the most successful people. Popularity is a huge game these days that people play, and my goodness, what a dangerous game. I, for one, don't care about my popularity, but I do care about my success. I don't have to be popular to be successful. I just have to be assertive. I have to be aware, and I have to articulate my outcomes based on the things that I desire. Not all of us are the way that I am, and not everyone will agree with the paths that I take in order to achieve the greatness that I desire. My greatness is showing up for my family, showing up for my job, and that, for me, is success in itself. I hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful and amazing day. Please stay tuned. If you're not following us, please do so, whatever platform you're listening on, and see what things that we can come up with in this world. And until our paths cross, stay strong, stay focused, stay sober. Much love. We'll see you all soon.